let me talk about cognitive load. Now, what's cognitive load? It's a concept in psychology that describes how the mind, how the brain absorbs information and how learning works. So there are three types of cognitive load. We have what we call the intrinsic load, we have the extraneous load, and thirdly, we have the Germane load. So let me talk about what all these big words, what they mean. The intrinsic load can be seen as the size or the difficulty level of the task you want to study. So let's say you want to study a concept like Hooke's law. Now, Hooke's law, by definition, has its level of difficulty. So when you compare Hooke's law with another concept like, let's say, transportation system in commerce. So let's say you want to study transportation in commerce. The intrinsic load of transportation in commerce is lower than the intrinsic load of Hooke's law in physics. Basically, the level of difficulty is just different, right? Now, that thing you want to study has this task difficulty. That's intrinsic load. Then we have the other idea, which is extraneous load. Now, extraneous load is that external unnecessary stress, mental stress that comes along the line when you want to study, right? So let's say I want to study Hooke's law, and it turns out that within my environment, there is this noise interfering with my studying. Let's say it turns out that I'm using an app and adverts are popping up every now and then. All of these things, they are called extraneous load. They are just adding unnecessary stress to your learning experience, and that can impact how effectively you learn. Then we have the third type of load, known as the Germane load. So this is the good load, the positive load that you actually use in learning that concept. So let's go back to our example. I want to learn Hooke's law. Now, in learning Hooke's law, I need to carry out certain steps. For example, I need to go through the objective. I need to take my time to ruminate on what I want to study, to ruminate on the outcome. I also need to take my time to actually consume those materials. And eventually, I need to take my time to practice quizzes. All of this mental effort, they are known as the Germane load. So they are the good load you want to maximize, right? Now, the way we design TestDriller is to maximize the Germane load and minimize to the barest minimum the extraneous load. So how did we achieve that? Number one, we took out every form of art. So TestDriller app does not have any art that run within it. And the goal is we don't want to distract students when they are studying. We don't want anything that will interfere with their learning. So the second thing is we ensure that the user interface is easy and very user-friendly, because if you want to study and the user experience is really bad, that will add to your extraneous load, which is the negative load you don't want to have when you want to learn anything at all. Then we also added a feature that ensures that most of the features, they run offline. So what this means is most of the features in TestDriller app, they are offline based. So what that means is you don't need internet. And why that's important is internet adds to your extraneous load. So if you have to be worried about getting cut off, having internet issue and all those stuff, those things will slow down your learning and they will interfere with whatever you are learning. So what we've done is for our video content, we are delivering those via a dongle or a flash. So for those that maybe may not have quality internet, you can get a flash across from our resellers and just get all the videos available to you. And that is going to be very, very helpful for those without access to internet. And of course, if you have access to internet, you can easily download everything offline and just enjoy your learning experience. So these are some of the key considerations we put in place in ensuring that learning is very effective with TestDriller. Now let's talk about the Germane load. So Germane load also can be maximized by ensuring the experience is very smooth. So for example, when you use TestDriller app, you realize that you've got features like a detailed report at the end of every practice. So let's say I try to practice a particular year. At the end of that practice, I get a feedback that is rich, that is detailed, and that is very, very useful. Now, what does that do? It highlights my weaknesses. It tells me my strengths. And what that does is it enables me to focus on my weakness. So instead of me just reading blindly, I get to revise what I believe I'm weak at. So the good thing about maximizing your Germane load is you get to direct your energy, your mental energy in the right direction, not just reading aimlessly. So that's what we do. So number one, you've got this a reporting system in the app that is very, very useful and tells you exactly what to improve on. Then you've also got this performance analysis that's rich, telling you all the subjects and all the areas you need to improve on. Then it also gives you a trend over time. So over time, you get to see how you've been performing, you get to see questions you need to revisit, and so on and so forth. And that helps to maximize your Germane or the positive mental load. Now, these are just a few of the features that helps in boosting your Germane load. We've got a number of them, including the bookmark feature, the practice history feature, the question search feature. In fact, talking about the question search, you can easily search for a given question and get to see question based on a given topic. So this is useful in a case where, let's say you are studying a particular topic and you want to get, let's say, 20 questions based on that specific topic that you are interested in. Now, by giving you tools that enables you to quickly extract those questions, you maximize your positive load, because now you don't need to spend hours searching for questions related to the topic of interest. You just press a few buttons and you have all the information that you need, and that can really aid or maximize your Germane load. And that's where TestDriller comes in. We help in maximizing your Germane load and minimizing the extraneous load, such that your learning ultimately is effective.